Arr, me mateys, sail with me to the waters of the Barracuda Bay, arr. If the word epic had a manifestation in a LEGO set, I think that would be it. Just look at this thing. The LEGO Ideas Pirates of Barracuda Bay, set number 21322. Well, it came out some time ago, but I was finally able to find the time to review it for you. And oh my, there is so much to it. I built this set on a LEGO live stream, so you wanna check it out in the links below perhaps. It's a long process. I think I took 4 streams to make it happen. I also stream on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and do all these things to follow me along. But the Barracuda Bay, even though it's long overdue, I think it deserves a good review. A proper one, a deep dive into this set. So let's just jump into it. The set absolutely screams nostalgia, as you can tell, even by the box art, which is closely resembling that of the 1980s set, with the lines and the color and the border of the box. It is totally looking like something taken from that era. And we cannot start the review of an Ideas set without the manual. As you guys know, the manuals of LEGO Ideas are something to behold, something to hold on to. They always provide some extra insight into the set, and this one is no different. We got some Legoland. Pirates are, I would say, from some word about the old theme that this set is coming back to. We have some cool little artboard or storyboard of this set, like what happened to the actual ship. It's really funny, and how it became an island of sorts. And also we have the Plunder New Lands with Pablo. That is the Pablo Sanchez, the designer, the fun designer of this set that stands behind this project, so thank him. And Milan Maj is the LEGO designer that worked with Pablo on making this set into the actual reality. I just love these mug shots with their pirates outfit. They must have felt a lot of fun while doing these shots in the office. That's gonna be super fun to do. Of course, the members of the Misfits, of the crew of Misfits of the Barracuda Bay. We have Captain Redbird from the old stuff. That's basically Captain Greybird, am I right, at this point, because he did age, it's been a few. And of course his trusty crew of Misfits with Lady Anchor, Quartermaster Riggins, Starboard, Jack Darkshark Doubloons, Tatuga, Port, and Robin Loot. Great pun, by the way. The manual has basically 450 pages of building, including the modification to the Black Seas Barracuda ship, and it has many sections. I found this build to be actually very enjoyable, I would say. You guys maybe followed me on the live stream, but each section is very nicely laid out. It builds some different things. There is never a boring moment in the build. You always build something new. Sometimes it's just a piece of an island, sometimes it's just a piece of the ship that goes on the island, sometimes something else, but the number of pieces or different pieces, different colors here, no real patterns of left and right, which I actually do not really like in LEGO. There is something always fun to build. There is not many symmetrical elements in this set, so you will quite enjoy it. That must have been one of the best building experiences in a while for me, and I would really compare it to the likes of my favorite ever set to build, the LEGO Ninjago movie, Ninjago City. I think that is the right moment to take a closer look at the minifigures, show you all the prints. I'm just gonna do it collectively, as we have 10 minifigures, including skeletons in this set, plus a number of creatures, as you can see, the pig being of course the highlight. And I think if I was to choose my favorite, that would be, I think, Tatuga, with the tattoos of front with the parrots and the anchors, and in the back he has the actual pirate Black Seas Barracuda tattoo, so he really loves that ship, I gotta say. I'm just gonna show all the other faces in a second. But second favorite, I think, of course, the Redbird or the Greybird, his updated version in this one, because he did age a bit and the print is just more updated. The ladies of Robin Loot and Miss Anchor are also great additions here. Classic minifigures. Port and Starboard, the mateys, the twins that are named after the sides of a ship, are also pretty fun. Updated prints with mustaches and so on, black and red. And also we have, what's the guy's name? Quartermaster Riggins. I had to double check this, but he also has a map and updated print as well. And the small kiddo that I kind of omitted is little doublons, or Jack doublons, should I say. He comes with a pouch and a spotting scope, plus the skeletons are just the usual skeletons, with the one, as I said before, being having a old Imperial soldier's cap to just show who he really was during his life. Here's the look at the back of the minifigures. Clearly, Tortuga wins this competition with the again tattoo of the ship, and I think Redbird also has a great updated print. I like the Quartermaster's print in the back. You can see the vest connection here, how he ties the vest in the back. And the lady, maybe let's just remove her mold for a second. Yeah, she also has a pretty nice print in the back. And as I removed also the hair elements, you can tell that only Robin Hood and Tortuga have a secondary face expression in this set. So it's kind of usual. All the minifigures from the 80s did not really have any sort of second expressions by far. So that's also kind of accurate to the original homage of this set. You can probably take a sip of mango juice every time I say that this set looks fantastic, or looks phenomenal, or looks amazing. It just does. LEGO did a fantastic job on the look, so let's just settle in the beginning of this review that I'm not gonna even question this. It looks amazing both from the back, you will see the back throughout this review, but especially from the front, and I did not even get to the Black Sea's Barracuda build. And I think that ship will look fantastic too, but that will be done in the later parts of this review. So let's just settle this, it looks great, and let's not ever talk about this too much in this review again. What we will do, we're gonna go through every corner of this set in this review. I'm gonna try to capture some of the Easter eggs, but I don't think I'm gonna catch them all. Pun intended, absolutely. And well, if I miss anything, of course the comments section is open below, and you guys probably are a better knowledge people on the LEGO Pirates than I am. A lot of it was more Dark Ages, but I do remember a lot of these things from my childhood, so my memory might be a bit rusty, but if I miss anything again, just let me know in the comments section below. Maybe you found some secrets that I did not. Probably from the intro you can tell that this set does split in half, and this is the first feature I would like to highlight. There is no pin, no nothing, no Technic axle, no connection. It just basically fits with some of the edges into the other edges, and you just slide it together. So it's very easy to carry and transport and put apart if you need to basically display for some reason both halves on different shelves or something like that. It's very easy to do so, and I actually enjoy it. I like that there is no tension, no pins that you can lose or wobble in the process. Starting from the right side of the set, as I'm looking at it from the front, we have the Islanders highlight. Old theme that was connected to the Pirates, sort of. That's the element from one of the old sets. It's on the screen right now, as you can probably tell, and you can also tell that the set offers a common shark mold that was appearing so many times before. We have two crabs and the entry to the walkway. And by the way, I should mention at this point that this set offers no stickers. It's everything is absolutely printed. So that hoses in 2x3 flag is also a printed element, which is always a great thing, but something you should at this point take for granted in a collectible idea set. And you can tell by now the amount of detail work that goes into those wooden walkways across the set. You can see this one is entering the inn. We're gonna actually enter the inn in a second, as I'm gonna be going through the set, but there's the staircase right leading to the upper level of the set. And I especially love that top of the stairs with the colorful parrot sitting on the little balustrade, and a bunch of flowers also next to it. You can also take a closer look at the repeating assembly for the lantern that appears 7 or 8 times across the set in different places, but the design pretty much remains unchanged, and that is something I enjoyed. I call these the Harry Potter lanterns because I think that's the first time I remember this piece of a lantern from, but yeah, these black ones appear throughout the set on many occasions. And also let's take a look at those beautiful palm trees, because it's another assembly that appears 3 times in this set. These are coconut palm trees, so you can see the nougat colored minifigure heads as coconuts, and each palm tree is served with 3 of the foliage elements in darker green and 3 in that lime green that make up the entire palm. 3 of these appear, there's a second one next to it, and you can see the third one in the background right on the second half of the island. Looking at the other side of that ship's hull that serves as an inn, I like that the cannon openings are now serving as windows Those are those fenced windows that are, you know, quite common in the pirate theme, but each cannon port is basically a window now, so that is something I really enjoyed. And you can see also the ladder on the side of the ship that's built from these pieces. Works pretty well, and you can see Robin Hood just standing there, enjoying the view, I would say. I'm not gonna mention all the details on that upper deck above the inn, as you can probably tell what's there right now, but we have the cannons, which are actually the old design for the working Lego cannons. You can just pull and, well, pull the spring and they just shoot. I'm not really shooting them because it's so easy to lose the ammo. All these gray barrels are basically ammo for the cannons, and I think I lost already one or two. Replace them with some other ones, but yeah, be careful, it's easy to lose. But they are actually flying quite far, and I do like the comeback of this piece. And we of course have different boxes for arms and ammo and cutlasses and all the weapons. This set has tons of weapons. I don't want to even name them all, but it's in the dozens how many things the pirates can have to fend off the adversaries or just go and loot a pillage or something. And this assembly in the back is basically a cage for our skeleton. So this set technically covers 10 minifigures, the 2 skeletons being the last 2 of them. And it's basically some old unlucky dude that was sitting in the brig for a bit too long. And this assembly actually is removable because you also remove this as you rebuild the set into the ship later on. Also, the main mast is residing here. It's super tall, as you can tell. There is a piece of a barrel hanging in there. The pieces of sail are actually a very thick cloth piece, so the old design, I would say. And not all of these are displayed in this version of the ship because once you rebuild this thing into the actual ship, you have extra cloths of sail to assemble onto the mast and make it happen, make it become a real pirate ship that's fully capable of sailing. Of course, you can see Mr. Doubloons on the eagle's nest right here at the top, and I'm just gonna move the camera so you can see how far this set really goes. It's way beyond my wall right now, and on top of that all sits one of the 2 big pirates flags. That is of course a print coming back to the old days of the Lego Pirates. Here's a little tip, because we want to get into the interior and show you the inn's interior. You can use one of the boxes to actually connect to that crate and wedge it off that way to unveil the interior. I think that's the easiest way, because once they get in there, it's really hard to get that crate off, but with that technique, you just put, get it open. And I basically removed the entire mast assembly and the upper floor to show you what's inside the inn. We're gonna put some light in there, but first of all, on the back side, I'm gonna remove this as well. You can totally get it off. First of all, you have 2 sleeping beds, 2 quarters, and the funny thing that I think that is a puke bucket in case you get seasick or rum sick at some point, but there is that on one side of the sleeping quarters. There's a small desk with a letter in it, and on the other side also you have a second desk with a mini candle for writing letters to your loved one on some port somewhere. And also there is the bar area with a little chalice and a teacup that is served. Let me just rotate this because I want to show you the other side, the other wall. Okay, got the better angle. Here's the other wall. This one also shows the more clear shot of that bar's serving area. There is a picture of a ship on the sea and also a keg of rum, few bottles, and basically a jumper there to also put some minifigures in there. Moving to the right on the same wall, I think that is some sort of like a bread oven. Maybe that's something to serve a fresh bread on the sea. I'm not sure if that even works on a pirate ship, but that assembly is for something for sure. And also on the sleeping quarters side, there's a small desk, which are very beautiful. Let me see if I can get a better angle there. There you go. So you can see those are the 1x1s with a special ornament piece in nougat color, to emphasize that assembly for this piece of furniture, a captain's cap, and also a candle on that one. So attention to details at its finest, I would say. Okay, assembled this to the normal state, I guess, but it took a bit of an effort to show you that interior, so please click a like if you can. It was fun to do. And also one last thing I want to say before we go to the second part of the island is that assembly of that hanging barrel in here is not really a crane of any sorts. Many people would consider this to be maybe the line is moving, or you can actually wind it up and make it a crane. No, it's just like a looking thingy. It's just basically a piece of a fixed piece of rope with a barrel on it. It doesn't really do anything except it just looks nice. It adds the flavor to the set of this robust, rickety looking island of a ship. Oh wait, one thing more. There's even some corals or flowers or some sea whatever thingy under the ship, so if you think about details, think about that too, because once you remove this thing to reassembly, there is even a detail under the ship, so something that many other sets do not even consider. Okay, but let's move to the other side of the island, which hosts more pieces. It's bigger, it's more grandeur. Okay, the remainder of the walkway, the wooden walkway is there, some mateys just hanging in there. You can see the lantern assemblies I was mentioning before. The third palm tree sits here. You can change the angle if you wish. There is the nose of the ship also sitting next to those rocks in there. And we have the captain's quarters and one more room in there, which we're gonna get into, but it gets really tall in this one. Not as tall as the original mast. You can see the red bird or gray bird in there, the flag, and the mast basically ends up here with the third flag that's a bit smaller, but also you can probably tell by this point that this is a pirate island, so beware. Okay, let's get into the details, maybe starting from the ground level. Let's start off with this stash of supplies. That is another thing that is very plentiful in this set. Next to the melee and ranged weapons, you have a ton of these nougat color boxes, and these boxes hold a number of different food molds that LEGO has produced over the years. We have the bananas, there is the printed minifigure head for the pineapple, and even a piece of baguette, a piece of bread. And there's so many other things that you're gonna probably be able to spot throughout this review in different boxes. To mention them all, I would probably need extra 15 minutes because there is so much. You can also see, as we are here, the assembly of that crooked window. That is a piece of design that I really loved during the build process. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, you can probably tell from the pieces. Things like that, details like that are really giving you a lot of respect for the design of this set. And I just love this piece especially, as it looks amazing with that plank work, the wooden work, the woodwork next to that window, and just complements this little hidden piece of the set. And I know I should totally address the pig because it's such a great mold for the animal. First time appearing in this set, by the way. We have that pig mold that is just great. Let's call her, I don't know, Pigletta or something, or Miss Piggy. She's gonna sit here, and you can see her little den in the back. I think that might be some poop or food, or I'm not sure what it is. In the back of that nose section, you can see another bucket. Buckets are plentiful in this set as well, and I think that dude was just unlucky. It is a soldier from the old days of battles on the seas. He was trying to find the pirate's treasure and he did not survive, or maybe they kept him in custody, but he has his old school soldier cap, and leg is missing. It's a real fun corner of the set that's hidden away from the side, so I need to use a lot of light to actually get in there, but there you go. And you can see there is also the frog. Can you see the frog? Yeah, it's right there. So many little things that this set does right, and you're just gonna enjoy it while you're building it and just exploring all these little secrets that the Barracuda Bay has to offer. Alright, rotated the set, the nose of the ship. What we have here is sort of like a 12th minifigure, the front statue of the ship in full yellow, so yellow body, yellow just unprinted minifigure head, and yellow long hair mold. That assembly here with those flexi tubes, sort of like a flexi elements from Technic, are also very well made. The assembly for the front mast, is that what you call it? I don't have the technical naming of these elements of a ship, but that assembly will also keep you in awe as you build the set. And moving the upper level, we have the balustrade, the things that keep the mast. By the way, I should mention that these things appear for the first time in that color. It used to be a very expensive piece, for example, from the original UCS Millennium Falcon that only came in this set, I think, in light bluish gray, but this one is in tan, so never ever before we have seen this piece in that color. Going up, there's another eagle's nest, or I should say parrot's nest, if you will, another parrot sitting there, and just up to the assembly of the smaller pirate flag. You can probably spot Tatuga here just chilling on the railings and just hanging out, spotting things, you know, just getting some exercise. I had to take my camera off the tripod to show you the cave, the pirate cave that is behind that cool crooked window assembly that we've seen from the front. There is a staircase leading to it just straight from that walkway, and here we have sort of like a place for that boat. Where's the boat? Oh, I should mention the boat because yeah, this set also offers you this little boat. So yeah, I think that's where it's supposed to be parked, but not really, doesn't really fit there. It's a bit too little of a space to actually fit that boat. But you can see also the back of that skeleton that we shown earlier, some corals or other things, and a stash for the treasure and well, and the supplies. It's basically a storage area. But speaking of the treasure, I should also show you one other thing, which is right here on the side of the set. There's a little stash of the pirates treasure. Let me see if I can pull this off. There you go. So that space is living right between the halves of the set, and it just fits pretty much only there. And inside it you will of course find the stash of gold, the 3 golden ingots that the pirates are keeping for, well, I don't know, insurance purposes, I guess. Okay, we're gonna place the treasure back in its little secret place and move to the upper stage here. And this is where the kitchen is. They gotta have the kitchen, of course, they're living off the island. So the kitchen, actually, I'm not gonna remove the upper floor, it's way too much to remove right now, but I'm just gonna close this door. This stage offers really cool assemblies for the kitchen, most likely a creator level type of builds. There is some sort of a prep area, some supplies there, another cup and a stove with a pan, and somebody's making pancakes on a pirate ship, maybe, but that's just about it. And I think there is, on the other side, there is another prep area that has a fresh fish and also another frying pan to your liking, so the entire crew can have a proper meal. And I think actually one of the coolest things about this kitchen is that the entryway is, well, through that staircase here, but the door here, I'm just gonna remove that little totem, that pole, to show you. The door is actually the rudder of the ship, so they made it into a functioning door, which is something that, well, you just cannot come up with just easily. It must have been a great design decision to actually place it that way, so that this serves as the door, and I think that is brilliant. And moving up, the upper and the last bit of this set is the captain's quarters, and I just want to take a moment to appreciate what they did on the outside of this. There is the steering wheel that will be required for the actual ship later on. It's just hanging here as a piece of decoration element. Those angles here are achieved, by the way, let me just rotate this so you can see the angle. That angle here is achieved to great success with some very elaborate assembly inside the captain's quarters, and you can see the color combination here of black and white, sorry, black and yellow, of course, is just showing which set is this based upon. That's the main, one of the most iconic sections of the Black Seas Barracuda. Okay, we're gonna crack this open. Hello, red gray bird. We're gonna just remove your little roof so you can show the actual interior of your captain's quarters. As we have this in my hand, you can see that the top offers another extra little storage for the weapons. There's a 1 musket and 1 cutlass with some extra pieces of ammo for the cannons. The cannons can also live here as a piece of defense for the Barracuda Bay. And you can tell that a lot of effort went into designing the captain's quarters. Let me get more light in here so you can have all the beautiful things that they prepared for us in this little, not so little actually, room. First of all, look at that chair assembly. It is stunning how they made it. Those golden candle elements, I don't think they appeared in that color before. You can see the white ones in the background. But yeah, this assembly is just pure goodness for the captain to sit on. And by the way, I think this piece is rotated, so please don't call me out on that. I think that was just a mistake. So we'll fix it, of course. And I'm holding the light with one hand and the camera with the other, but we can at least have some illumination in there. The candles, great stuff, very iconic look. The map for the next treasure, that's the place where the chair was residing. I should actually put it back in there. And also a small bunk bed for the captain that is actually on a small swivel, so you can place it and have more space in the room. This side also has even more glorious treasure chest with more gems and chalices in gold for the captain, and also a small ink container, a compass, and a cup of tea. I guess the captain loves the tea quite a bit. And the detail that is not clearly seen from the other side is that little bust in the corner. I could not really guess what this one is about or who this one portrays, but maybe you can give me some hints in the comment section. This seems like a female hair mold, so maybe that's somebody beloved by the captain that is not actually here in this set. But yeah, it's there, and it's a really cool little small piece of detail. That was a long journey through the entirety of this set, but of course we cannot finish this review without reassembling this into the second build, yes, the Black Sea's Barracuda ship, the reiteration of the 1980s set. So, time-lapse commencing, I guess. Whoa, that actually took longer than expected. I think 30-40 minutes of work. There is bag 15, I should have mentioned that before, but bag 15 is something you do not really open until you get to the building of that ship, so that bag contains extra pieces to flush it out, to connect the sections of the ship together so they don't rattle or move. So this is a solid thing. It's basically a standalone set at this point. And it has a ton of details. It looks amazing. I really like the size of it and how the sails work and everything. It truly is probably one of the best ships of all time right now at this point. Maybe somewhere next to that Imperial warship from back in the day. But it looks amazing. However, the downside is that in the end you end up with somewhat a chunk of an island, a scrap of an island if you will, that doesn't really serve any purpose, doesn't really look good, and you end up with a ton of pieces that you sort of do not know what to do with. I tried to incorporate some of these onto the island bag, like some foliage and elements of the ship that were not used in the ship anymore. Some skeletons of course stay on the island, but things like that cage doesn't really have a space to go anywhere, maybe on that water, I don't know, and elements that were showing that the foliage, the overgrown foliage on the ship, that were specific for the ship do not really have a place on the island. So if you choose that way, you end up with a beautiful ship, but you end up with a lot of unusable elements, especially that print, that beautiful print for the Hostess Inn doesn't have any place after you disassemble this into the ship. So that's a bummer, which is it's an exclusive print overall. So I don't know, in that way I like it, but I feel like a lot of this set becomes unused unless you mock it out, add some your pieces, make sure it doesn't look as empty or maybe looks actually like a pirate fort afterwards. I think LEGO could have done a better job in trying to make it so that you end up with the ship and some sort of an island, like a mini hideout, maybe just a storage area, but you actually end up with the ship and nothing that really appeals to my eye, in my opinion. So something to consider for sure. I should have also mentioned that the ship actually has a working anchor, and I don't think I mentioned it in the review, but it does have a working anchor. The anchor is pretty cool because it does have like a little spot in one of the Technic pins that prevents this from just wibbling around. So you can actually store it in this solid fashion. Okay, guys, long review, I know, but I think I really wanted to give this set the justice it deserves. In both forms it is excellent. The second form has some downsides like that chunk of an island, but you know, if you want to keep it the island way, if you want to keep it the shipwreck way, you are welcome to do so. It looks amazing in that way, as you have probably seen, but I think for now it has stayed on my shelf for about a few weeks in that island form, and now that I have the Barracuda Bay, I want to keep it, the Pirates, the Black Sea's Barracuda ship, I kind of want to keep it in that form for some time. Mainly because it looks amazing, but also because it takes a bit of an effort to make sure you disassemble it correctly and place it back in the island. I think the disassembly process and moving this back to this form will take actually longer than assembling this into what it is right now. Well, thank you so much for watching. As always, click the like or dislike if you did not enjoy this review. I hope you enjoyed it though, and I hope to see you in more videos here on The Cool Factor. Alright guys, with the mateys greetings or goodbyes, I wish you the best and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
Walk the plank, landlubber. But why? Because you called me Captain Greybird.
All the treasures, all the glories, all the things that we shall plunder. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? This better not get a copyright claim, thank you.